My beloved child, if you read these words and think they do not apply to you, or if someone else's face comes to mind, do not hesitate to share this message of hope. I bless every act of love and courage when you pass on my words, because I want all to know that I am near, ready to heal, restore, and fill each soul with peace. I want you to begin your day differently. Sometimes you wake up with your thoughts leaping to worries or racing toward distractions, and you find yourself quickly overwhelmed by the responsibilities of life. My desire is that you pause and thank me first. Even if you only speak a few simple words of gratitude, thanking me for breath in your lungs, for a roof over your head, for the family I have entrusted to you, this shifts your heart into a place of peace. It reminds you that you are alive for a reason, that time is precious, and that you still have opportunities to correct what has gone astray. I do not want you to be consumed by regret over past mistakes, but rather inspired by the promise of a new day. My mercy has hovered over you for so long. I have seen every stumble, every wrongdoing, yet I have not cast you aside. I remember the moments you disobeyed my commandments, those times you thought no one would ever know. Sometimes your sins seemed obvious, like hurting others or telling lies. Sometimes they were hidden in pride, resentment, or jealousy. None of these is minor, yet all can be forgiven when you come to me with sincerity. Let me set you free from the shadows of your past. Let me break the chains of shame so you may move forward with renewed courage. You see, sin wears many faces. Adultery and fornication can harm your physical body and relationships. Lies and calumny can tear at the fabric of someone's reputation. Pride can isolate you from true community. Discrimination can sow seeds of hatred that spread far and wide. Whatever form sin takes, it brings destructive consequences to the soul and often to those around you. My Spirit convicts you not to condemn you forever, but to guide you toward change. I long for you to turn away from that which injures your spirit and come to me for healing. If you feel my voice calling you through these words, do not put off your response. Seek me today and choose to immerse yourself in my presence daily. Trust that I hear you and that I respond in my timing, which is always perfect. Waiting is not always easy, but it is in waiting that you learn dependence on me rather than on your own limited understanding. My answers will come precisely when you need them, and they will surpass your own plans. Come before me with openness. Confess your burdens to someone trustworthy, a person who honors my name, so you do not carry your guilt alone. Broken chains often begin with honest words. Find fellowship with others who will support you in prayer and lift you up, not drag you down. As you do, your past no longer needs to define you. The regrets, the failures, the secret sorrows, they can all stay behind. I will give you a new beginning and guide you into the marvelous future I have planned. My child, you are not beyond redemption. You have witnessed my faithfulness in past seasons, and I will continue to show you that I am a God of second chances, third chances, and beyond. You have asked me for a sign, some clear affirmation that I'm speaking to you. Consider this message a gift, a whisper that resonates in your soul. I heard your tears. I felt the cry of your heart when you asked whether I still cared. My angelic hosts were set into motion the moment you directed your plea to me. They carry the keys to unlock your chains, that you might experience my freedom. Even when storms swirl around you, I want you to remember there is a spiritual dimension where fierce battles are fought over your life. The enemy tries to snuff out your hope, but my armies wage war on your behalf. The troubles that appear suddenly are no coincidence. You must remain alert, discerning in whom you confide, for not everyone who appears friendly is trustworthy. The devil prowls around, looking for cracks in your armor, places where you feel discouraged or weak. In these vulnerable spots, he tries to plant doubt. But I will make your faith unshakable if you keep your eyes on me. Never forget, There is envy in the hearts of those who see my favor resting upon you. They cannot comprehend the supernatural plans I have laid out for you. Some will try to discredit you, while others whisper behind your back. Do not let their attempts discourage you. Even if circumstances are difficult in this moment, know that your suffering has an expiration date. I do not permit my beloved ones to remain in the valley of despair forever. You may endure pain for a season, but joy comes in the morning. And yes, there are people who have wronged you, individuals who wounded you with words or deeds. But healing awaits your soul, and part of that healing involves forgiveness. They may eventually return to you, seeking pardon, and I want you to release any bitterness. Do not cling to anger or resentment, for it will only poison your spirit. Show them the same mercy I have shown you countless times. However, do not put your trust fully in human promises. Only I hold the power of eternal blessing and perfect deliverance. If you lose sight of me and put all your hope in fragile human words, you risk losing the blessings intended for you. Stay anchored in my everlasting truth. This is your season for decision. Where will you place your faith? Who will you allow to shape your future? Choose me. Allow my love to saturate your heart. Let my embrace comfort you in moments of doubt. Commit yourself to seeking my voice every morning, reading and absorbing my word so that your faith grows stronger by the day. I have shown you the path. I have given you a reason to keep believing. If you wonder how you will overcome, remember that my promises stand forever. Open your eyes of faith. The burdens you face now are temporary. They will not linger. The help you have sought is coming. I have already set in motion ways to provide for your needs. My love is proven, even when your human perspective cannot see the final outcome. Trust me, for I prepare solutions you could not have orchestrated on your own. The outcome will be so glorious, you will know that I, the Lord your God, guided every detail. There is healing for your mind, body, and spirit. There is restoration for what you believed hopelessly lost. You will soon see how I honor the courage of those who trust in me without wavering. And while you read or hear these words, feel my voice resonating in your heart. Let it echo softly, reminding you that I am closer than your own breath, intimately aware of your deepest longings. Think of a seed planted in the ground. It remains unseen for a time, sometimes even seeming lifeless. Then, in a moment you cannot fully predict, it bursts through the soil, reaching toward the light. So it is with the seeds of faith you have planted in tears. In due time, you will reap a harvest of joy and breakthroughs. Despair might have whispered that things will never improve, that your situation is beyond repair. But I am the God of possibilities, the Creator who spoke galaxies into existence. Nothing is too difficult for me. The only limitation is how tightly you hold on to doubt instead of clinging to the truth. Some of your dreams, which you thought were long dead, are about to awaken in vivid color. You might have stored them away out of exhaustion, heartbreak, or fear of disappointment. But watch how my spirit breathes new life into them. Imagine a shepherd searching for a lost sheep in the dark wilderness, unwilling to rest until that beloved creature is safe. That is how I have searched for you, how I have watched over the treasure within your soul. You felt as though giving up was your only choice, that you lacked the strength to go on. But I, your loving shepherd, have arrived to lift you, to restore you, and to promise you a joy that surpasses your greatest expectations. And yes, you will see surprising events unfold. Individuals you counted as gone will return, longing for reconciliation. I have matured your faith through the tests you have endured, and now you stand on the brink of becoming a lighthouse for those who wander in darkness. You will be equipped to guide the wounded and broken back toward the light. The doors that once seemed locked will open. The chains you thought permanent will shatter. My word can accomplish feats you cannot imagine on your own, because with me, there are no impossibilities. Beloved child, prepare yourself. What lies ahead is greater than you can fathom. Family ties can be mended. Bitter divisions can be healed. Open the door to forgiveness. When those who have wronged you approach, grant them a second chance. Shower them with compassion instead of spite. In return, you will witness how I flood your own life with abundance. I can bring you a more satisfying profession, unexpected opportunities, and meaningful provision. I will send people who value your talents and reward your dedication, but stay far from lies, slander, and cynicism. Words carry power, and those who wield them carelessly harm not only others, but themselves. Guard your mouth, and do not fall for idle gossip or false tales. Some will attempt to con you, to pull you away from the harvest I prepared, but keep your eyes fixed on my truth. I have spoken to you for so long, urging you to rise to a higher level of trust and intimacy with me. It is time to explore my word more deeply, to let your life depend on me in genuine faith. Do not set your hope on money or let yourself be consumed by resentment if you lose a material possession. Money can be fleeting. I alone remain constant. My desire is to gift you something far greater than mere financial gain. I want you to know my supernatural presence. Declare your love for me and believe in the power I hold. Watch how I transform your life and your family when you choose to trust me wholeheartedly. Take courage, for good news is on the horizon. Miracles unfold when a heart surrenders to me without reservation. Sometimes your mind is flooded by doubt, and you find your determination faltering. But do not dwell on those discouraging thoughts. Instead, repeat my promises in faith. Remind yourself that you can do all things through my strength. Remember the cross where my Son gave himself for your redemption, proof that no distance is too great for my love to reach you. Let your chest fill with divine hope, a glowing spark that remains no matter the trials you face. Begin each morning at my feet, listening attentively, for I desire your welfare. I want harmony in your relationships, unity under your roof, a peace that endures. Be gentle in spirit, ready to forgive, and keep your heart childlike in wonder and trust. Observe how enemies and so-called friends who mock your faith fade in significance. They may boast of great accomplishments, wealth, or intellect, but their souls wander in darkness if they do not know my love. Refrain from resentment. Do not respond to their aggression with your own. Instead, rest in the knowledge that I shield you from harm. No force, no matter how threatening, can triumph over a soul protected by me. I am a living God, majestic and infinite, not a product of human imagination. I do not want you in tears, crushed by threats or deceptions. I am here to guard you against the traps of evil, the shackles of poverty, the sting of sickness, and the fear of death itself. Embrace my words. Receive the blessings I extend. I only ask that you trust me, that you remember how deeply I cherish you. Your mistakes do not diminish my affection. My love is anchored in grace, not in your flawless performance. You long for a second chance. I give it willingly. I remove obstacles in front of you, so that the path I have ordained can unfold. Keep praying, and watch how people, circumstances, and even your own character transform under my guidance. My plan for you involves letting go of the past. Release old regrets and attachments. You cannot move forward while gazing continually over your shoulder. Place your focus on what is above, things eternal, not the fleeting glitters of this world. Your life has tremendous worth. The family I have placed around you is amazing, and the destiny I have designed for you is more expansive than you suspect. You might think, how can I accomplish anything so big? The truth is, you cannot do it alone. You need my power and mercy. People may let you down, but I never will. My word is unbreakable, my promise unstoppable. And now the time approaches for you to receive the blessings you have long anticipated. Soon, the day will come when your financial worries and your inner turmoil are swept away. You will experience a sacred peace, accompanied by real abundance. But do not measure abundance solely in material terms. The abundance I give involves your soul's rest, a flourishing sense of purpose, the delight of seeing your family smile without fear. Still, faith is essential. You must stand firm in the place of trust I have called you to, resolute when people or problems try to derail you. There will always be those who deride your steadfastness, but if you stand unshaken, anchored in my word, you will prevail. I will reveal new insights to your spirit, unveiling more of my heart toward you. The depth of my love will astonish you. You might think, why would God pour out such favor on me? And I say, because you are my precious child, created for my glory. Will you accept your blessing? Will you open your heart to receive what I am so eager to give? Let me soothe your hurts, wipe your tears, and enfold you in my arms. I see your wounded heart. Many experiences have left you skeptical, worried that I might turn away. But I come not to judge your past, but to mend it. Talk to me. Though you may struggle to form the right words, I delight in your honest approach. I search your intentions, not your vocabulary. I once told you, even faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. Understand that a sincere but trembling heart is more precious to me than loud displays meant to impress. Your faith, however tiny, is enough to reach the throne of heaven, where your destiny is written by my hand of grace. Wait on my answers, for they spring from my perfect will. Even if you cannot see the entire picture, I ask you to stay calm, remembering all that I have spoken. When anxiety knocks at your door, remind yourself, God is my Father, my shepherd, my provider, the one who always rescues me. Keep walking in my ways. Avoid turning left or right when you should remain on the path that leads to life. Tomorrow may bring diversions, illusions, or enticements designed to pull your thoughts from me. Instead, fill your heart with my word, so that your faith cannot be shaken by lies. I care about every detail of your well-being. I want your family to be at peace, free from toxic arguments, walking together in unity. My peace is not like the world's peace, which crumbles under the slightest pressure. My peace settles deep in your heart, continuing to flow even in hardship. You called upon me in your desperation, and I have received your praise. My response travels swiftly, though you may not perceive it yet. Celebrate in confidence, for the miracle is underway. Let yourself rest in my presence, leaning on my everlasting arms. I want you to feel better, to be free from the tension that has weighed you down. Let my words wash over you like a gentle stream, reviving areas of your soul that have felt barren. I love you too much to leave you in despair. I will show you my devotion day after day if you hold on to hope. Even when you are too exhausted to pray, know that my spirit intercedes with groanings too profound for words. I do not cast you aside simply because you have no energy left. In times past, you may have thought your failings separated you irreparably from me. Never forget, my love is greater than your worst moment, more powerful than your darkest day. I am here precisely because I see how valuable you are in my eyes. I want to dispel every lie that says you are unworthy. You matter deeply. You are no less significant than anyone else. Each of my children holds a special place in my heart. Do not listen to the enemy's taunts, which try to make you feel small or worthless. Instead, believe that I have chosen you for a meaningful purpose. My hope for you is unselfish. I want your life brimming with peace and goodness. I desire your family to flourish in love, protected and blessed by my hand. When morning dawns and you rub the sleep from your eyes, come feed on my word. Let it fill your spirit with quiet assurance. That comforting presence you sense as you pause to reflect in prayer, that is my spirit communing with you. I am ready to share my plans for you, to reveal how my blessings are custom-made for your journey. As you focus on my promises, negative thoughts must flee. I yearn to show you important truths, such as the fact that you are called to extend the same love you receive to those around you. Family, friends, even strangers. Value yourself enough to accept the miracles I intend to do in your life. Declare, "Yes, Lord, I place myself in your hands. Give me permission to heal your heart. Let me pour the calmness of my spirit upon your mind, quieting the anxieties that rage." Picture yourself stepping into a flowing river of pure, crystalline waters, washing away the residue of shame, the dust of regret, and the toxins of bitterness. As you immerse yourself, you feel renewed joy, a sense of safety you have not felt in ages. You once experienced dryness in your soul, going through a season of battles where you felt deserted. That loneliness was real, but it does not have to dictate your future. Today, I extend my strength to lift your spirits and chase away discouragement. From now on, let my promises never depart from your lips. Speak them with conviction. If loneliness tries to creep back in, declare boldly that I am with you always. If you feel overwhelmed by life's responsibilities, come to me, and I will give rest to your heart. Remember each day that I am your shepherd, the one who ensures you shall not want. My perfect provision meets every need, so you can walk without fear. I seat you by streams of living water, that you may bear fruit and bless others. If you hunger for genuine and eternal love, come to me. If you find yourself crying for reasons you cannot articulate, know my arms are open. Human relationships can promise kindness, but often demand something in return. People may appear patient or friendly, yet disappear when you have nothing left to give. No earthly being can replicate the depth of my unshakable love, the healing of my presence, or the unwavering loyalty I offer. My blessings are free, requiring no payment. I want your heart, your faith, your willingness to leave behind destructive patterns and begin anew as we walk forward together. Stretch your faith toward a brighter horizon, trusting wholeheartedly. Patience is key. Let your lips speak, "Lord, I surrender." And I, in turn, say, "I receive your faith, my cherished child." Prepare for the marvelous outpouring of blessings that I will rain down upon you. I heard your plea and saw your tears. I come now to affirm my promises. The triumph I give flows from my throne of grace. You will see tangible rewards for your steadfast endurance, for your determination not to give up. Lay claim to the crown of life that I have promised those who persevere. When you feel weary, do not be afraid. I come bearing fresh strength for your body and clarity for your spirit. As you absorb my words, allow them to ignite a flame of passion within you, urging you to press on. You may notice a stirring in your soul, a yearning to taste victory. Yes, that is me fanning the embers of hope. I cannot bear watching my children crushed by discouragement, disease, or the illusions of defeat. Nighttime can bring unrelenting thoughts, but I am the one who guards you while you sleep. Listen for my gentle voice in your dreams, reminding you that my love never sleeps or slumbers. You will rest deeply, safe under my watchful gaze, only to awaken and find me still beside you, ready to speak life into your day. Envision morning sunlight caressing your cheeks as I softly run my hand over your head, offering renewed resolve to face whatever lies ahead. Yes, you will see the sweetness of restoration in your family. Relationships you believed irreparably strained will find new beginnings. A healing wind will blow into your home, removing bitterness and resentment. I will introduce trustworthy people to your life, those whose hearts radiate kindness. If you remain clinging to the past, forever mourning old wounds, you block yourself from accepting the new blessings I bring. I am delivering you from that captivity of sorrow. I am granting you liberty to rise above the pit of fear. I ask in return that you cherish the grace I am pouring out. You may wonder, why me, Lord? Why do you choose to bless someone like me? My answer is simple. My love looks beyond your past. I see your resolve, your sincerity, your willingness to strive for good. Even in storms, you tried to do right. You kept pressing forward though your confidence faltered at times. And so, when your success begins to manifest, when people see you prosper and find happiness, do not abandon our connection. Continue coming to me each day, for no matter how strong you grow, you are still my beloved child. Spend time in my presence, relishing the closeness that nurtures your soul. Never forget the special place you hold in my heart. I will return to you what has always been yours to claim: joy, dignity, purpose, and the knowledge that you are loved unconditionally. Your path has not been easy. You have faced undeserved criticism and malicious rumors. Yet I promise that none of those things can extinguish the light I have placed within you. My favor outshines any attempt to harm you. Let them plot and scheme if they will. Your confidence shall remain unscathed because you walk in my protection. Others notice the brightness that emanates from your life. My presence upsets those who hate truth, but my shield over you is unbreakable. Some of these detractors cannot sleep, consumed by jealousy, spending their nights thinking about ways to harm you. Meanwhile, you can rest peacefully, certain that I watch over you. The enemies who mocked you face their own struggles. Their families suffer the consequences of refusing my counsel. Many times I reached out to guide them, but they turned away in pride. You, on the other hand, recognize that I held answers to the battles you faced. You surrendered your life to my will, believing my words, with no trace of doubt. And indeed, not everyone around you has done the same. They hold me responsible for their disappointments rather than seeing how their own choices led them astray. You, however, realize that your joy does not depend on human circumstances, but on me alone. Because of that, you will grow mightier in spirit, unwavering in hope. Even your adversaries might come asking how you found such peace. This, dear one, is just the beginning. Greater blessing awaits if you continue your faithful journey. Keep that vibrant hope alive, for it fuels you to endure any obstacle. I promise never to leave you alone, not in trouble nor in triumph. Cling to this reality. You are never abandoned. Lay your troubles before me, for I have seen them and declared, "It is finished." Like a caring physician, I examine the wounds you hide. I apply my healing balm precisely where you hurt the most. I remind you that even if you do not always feel my nearness, I remain at your side. My word stands unshaken. I told you I would be with you day and night, and that was no empty vow. Not because you earned it by perfection, but because I love you more deeply than you can understand. Trust this, and do not flee when adversity intensifies. Sometimes the fiercest battles come right before victory breaks through. Stand your ground, and watch how your spiritual foes fall before you. Stand your ground, and see how my strength outlasts every threat. Patience is essential. Do not let fear push you to make rash decisions. If you rush or act on panic, you risk undermining what I am orchestrating on your behalf. Your life and your loved ones are in my hands, protected, guarded by armies of angels. I supply everything you need: provision for the body, nourishment for the soul, and healing for your wounds. Stay wise, remain cautious, nurture your well-being, your peace, and the blessings I give you. Keep your eyes focused on me. Resist the urge to compare yourself with those who seem to thrive in wrongdoing. They may boast, but their fleeting success is built on sand. Your roots dig into the solid foundation of my truth. Yes, you asked me to prove my love, and here I am, speaking to your spirit once more, comforting your soul, mending the hurts of your past, and planting new dreams for tomorrow. I assure you of a future brimming with goodness and prosperity of heart. My sacred promises are written in my word, shining like guiding stars in a dark sky. They stand firm when everything else collapses. You may face setbacks, but my promises are your reason to keep pushing onward. You will not be alone. In both triumph and tribulation, I walk with you. Do you believe this? I want you to answer with an unwavering yes. There will be days your mind is assaulted by doubts. That is when you lean harder on me, confessing your uncertainties and letting me quiet your heart. My love can banish the shadows of fear. My presence can soothe your worries more gently than any human reassurance. When confusion clouds your thoughts, my word is your compass, pointing you back to my heart. I delight in guiding my children. My beloved child, I want you to settle your heart now and receive the rest of what I long to speak. You have journeyed with me through many moments of revelation, allowing my words to comfort you and stir your faith. Yet there is more I want you to embrace, more assurance and guidance I want to pour into your soul. I see your desire to draw near, to understand my will, and to experience the fullness of my love. Take a deep breath, calm your thoughts, and let this be a sacred time. Right where you are, my presence is with you, soothing every worry and preparing your heart for even greater blessings. You have asked me about the future, wondering how your life could possibly unfold in the miraculous ways I have promised. In my eyes, I see not only who you are, but who you will become through faith. I see the seeds of courage, compassion, and wisdom buried deep within you, ready to flourish under my tender care. When you were younger in your faith, it was easy to get distracted by unimportant details or trivial pursuits. Yet slowly you recognized that your spirit yearned for something much more profound, a purpose that transcends fleeting desires. You discovered that all along, I was gently nudging you, summoning you to walk closely by my side. I know that even now, you sometimes wrestle with doubt. You wonder, will I really see these promises come to pass? Could life truly be transformed in the way you describe? The answer is yes. My ability to bless you has never been limited by circumstances. Reflect on the times I carried you when you thought you could not take another step. Recall how provision arrived when you believed all resources were exhausted. Over and over, you have tasted my goodness. As you remember each instance of my faithfulness, let it be the fuel that drives away every hesitation. I have never failed you, and I will not fail you now. You see, from heaven's perspective, your destiny glows with glorious potential. You may see only the barriers, personal shortcomings, a painful past, or oppressive fear of the unknown. But my voice calls you beyond those barriers. You are created for impact, for holiness, and for profound joy. You might think, I am too flawed to be used by God, yet I say, my power is made perfect in your weakness. You might say, I have stumbled too many times. Still I whisper, I mend the broken places. You might feel isolated or unimportant, but I declare over you, you are a child of the King, precious in my sight. Your identity is not shaped by what the world has said about you. Rather, your identity rests in the fact that I breathe life into your spirit every day. No matter how many storms come your way, my hand upholds you. I want to talk to you about trust. Trust is like a garden that needs consistent tending. In the same way a gardener carefully waters and prunes each plant, you must continually nourish your faith in me. If you only occasionally consider my promises, glancing at them briefly when trouble surfaces, your trust remains shallow. But when you intentionally spend time in my presence, praying and absorbing my word, your trust grows robust. Then, even when storms of confusion or sorrow assault you, your faith stands like a sturdy tree, unshaken by gale-force winds. In time, your life produces fruit, acts of kindness, peace in the middle of chaos, joy that defies logic, and a readiness to help others discover the hope you have found. Let me tell you a simple parable. Imagine two farmers living side by side in a land prone to drought. Both farmers plant seeds year after year. One, however, lives in constant fear that no rain will come. He invests only minimal effort, refusing to expand his fields or fertilize the soil. The other believes that rain will eventually arrive, so he cultivates a broader field, carefully nourishing the ground. When the rains finally pour down, the second farmer reaps a bountiful harvest, while the first regrets his lack of faith. In a similar way, I want you to move forward in expectation. If you live braced for disappointment, you limit how much you receive. But if you enlarge the place of your trust, stepping out in faith even when the future is unclear, you position yourself for the downpour of my blessings. I see that you desire victory. Victory in your finances, relationships, health, and emotions. I want you to know that victory does not merely mean the absence of challenges. Rather, it is the certainty that no matter what difficulty arises, I am with you, working all things for your good. You are never promised a life entirely free of trials, but you are assured that my presence redeems every hardship, transforming it into a stepping stone on your journey. Yes, you can experience financial breakthroughs, restored relationships, a healthy body, and emotional wholeness. Still, the most significant victory of all is the unbreakable bond you form with me, the anchor that secures your soul, no matter how tumultuous the waters become. In earlier moments, you may have found it tough to yield certain aspects of your life to my guidance. Perhaps you trusted me with your spiritual life, but thought you should handle your career or your relationships on your own. My child, I invite you to surrender everything to me. My wisdom is unlimited. I know exactly which job environments will draw out your unique gifts. I know which people you are meant to bless. I know how to help you manage your resources so that you live in peace and purpose rather than anxiety. Nothing you entrust to me is ever wasted. On the contrary, anything you keep withholding out of fear or pride remains a constant source of frustration. I want you to dare to dream again, to envision not just a small improvement, but a grand transformation. Think of how I took Gideon, once fearful and hiding, and molded him into a mighty warrior. Think of how I led Joseph from the prison to a seat of influence in a foreign land. Understand that I do not choose people based on their credentials. I choose those who are willing to listen and obey. When I call you to a new place or a new season, it is not for your ruin, but for your growth. I often take my children beyond their comfort zones to show them that my power is real, that I make a way where there seems to be none. If you cling to me, you will watch closed doors open, see rivers form in dry wilderness, and sense hope springing forth where despair once thrived. But let me speak also of humility. Many in this world misunderstand humility, equating it with weakness or low self-esteem. True humility is simply acknowledging your dependence on me, recognizing that I alone deserve glory for the wonders I perform in your life. Pride says, I did it all by myself. Pride might also say, I cannot let anyone see my vulnerability, thus refusing to receive the help and encouragement I send through others. Humility, on the other hand, stands in awe of my kindness and gratefully accepts blessings. Humility shares testimonies of my miracles, not to boast, but to show others that what I have done for you, I am willing and able to do for them. True humility opens the door to deeper intimacy with me. If you remain humble, you will not become ensnared by the illusions of self-sufficiency. Instead, you will continually return to me, the fountain of wisdom and strength, ensuring that your victories do not corrode your spirit. Let me give you insight into another aspect of my heart. I long to see unity and harmony in your relationships. Families break apart and friendships collapse when bitterness, envy, or misunderstandings take root. The enemy delights in sowing seeds of suspicion and offense. But I long to see my children humbly forgiving one another, speaking words of life rather than criticism, and choosing patience over impulsive anger. I want you to guard your heart against resentment, because resentment silently poisons the soul, building a wall between you and others. It also hinders your prayers, for bitterness makes it hard to receive or extend grace. Yes, there will be times you feel you have been mistreated. Yet each time you release that hurt to me, refusing to let it fester, you prove that your faith is genuine. You demonstrate that you trust my justice over your need for revenge. Forgiveness is not about minimizing the harm done. It is about refusing to let past wounds define your future. Another key lesson I want to place within you is perseverance. Perseverance is the will to keep moving forward, even when results are not immediate. Many start a good work with enthusiasm, but lose heart when success is delayed. If you measure progress only by what you see with your physical eyes, you may be tempted to abandon the path I have set for you. But your spiritual eyes can discern that often I am working underground, behind the scenes, preparing the perfect conditions for the harvest. Consider a farmer waiting for crops to ripen. He does not dig up seeds in frustration simply because he cannot see sprouts within days. He waits in hope, trusting that growth takes place in hidden ways. So wait upon me with a confident heart, praying faithfully, persevering in good deeds, and trusting that no act of obedience goes unnoticed. The results might manifest suddenly, surprising even you with their magnitude. And let us discuss purpose. Many people wander through life, unsure of why they exist. They chase thrills or accumulate possessions, yet an emptiness persists. I created each person with a unique design, the imprint of my own creativity. Your gifts, personality traits, passions, and life experiences all weave together to form a tapestry of purpose. When you align with my plan, you no longer waste time trying to become someone else. You embrace the destiny I have prepared, and that alignment brings you genuine fulfillment. You realize that your every breath can serve as worship, as an offering of gratitude for the life I have given. In the quiet corners of your soul, I whisper direction, placing dreams on your heart that resonate with my kingdom values: love, mercy, truth, and justice. When you pursue those dreams in partnership with me, your life takes on a vibrant significance that mere worldly pursuits can never match. Let us speak too about gratitude. Gratitude is a posture of the heart, a way of perceiving your circumstances through the lens of my goodness. It is not the denial of sorrow or setbacks, but the choice to thank me even in adversity. This choice unlocks doors in the spiritual realm, for when you maintain a thankful spirit, you dethrone negativity. You stop exalting your problems and start glorifying the one who is above all problems. Gratitude breeds contentment, and contentment safeguards you from covetousness, that insidious desire that always wishes for something else. A grateful heart does not fixate on what it lacks, it magnifies what it has. As you practice gratitude daily, counting even small blessings, you pave the way for even greater manifestations of my favor. You might still wonder about your own fragility. Lord, you think, I have stumbled so many times, disappointed you and others, let fear overshadow my faith, or said words I regret. How can I possibly stand in your presence without shame? My child, that is precisely why my mercy is so powerful. Like a loving father who cleans the scraped knees of a child who has fallen, I wash you with tender compassion. When you come to me with a repentant heart, I do not hold your past misdeeds over your head. Instead, I lift you up and set your feet on stable ground, strengthening you so that you learn and grow. I do not delight in condemnation. My delight is in restoration. I do not want you paralyzed by guilt. Instead, I want you liberated by the knowledge that my Son's sacrifice covers every sin. It is as though each day you can begin anew, unburdened by the mistakes of yesterday, ready to step forward in confidence. Let us also talk about letting go of destructive habits and influences. The world is full of temptations that promise quick satisfaction, but leave you emptier in the end. Substances that dull your senses, entertainment that pollutes your mind, relationships that drain your energy or compromise your values. I do not say these things to keep you from enjoyment, but to protect you from harm. True delight arises from a healthy, unencumbered heart that finds pleasure in righteousness. When you feed your spirit toxic content or engage in harmful behaviors, you weigh yourself down and complicate your path. On the other hand, when you release unwholesome attractions and replace them with the nourishment of my presence, you discover a joy and peace that surpass any shallow thrill the world offers. I see your potential to influence others. Whether you realize it or not, people watch your example. Family members, co-workers, neighbors, and even strangers with whom you briefly interact. You never know the ripple effects of a single act of kindness or an encouraging word spoken in my name. You never know whose life might change because they see your gentle spirit and wonder where you find such serenity. That is how my love spreads one person at a time, through countless small reflections of my character. The more you walk in alignment with me, the brighter you shine, and the more you guide others toward the light. Think of another simple parable. A lamp is not concealed beneath a basket, but placed on a stand for all to see. If you have truly experienced my goodness, do not hide it in fear or timidity. Speak openly about the hope that anchors you. When troubles come to your friends, co-workers, or family, you can gently direct them to my peace, reminding them that I am also near to them. Sometimes, just by listening and offering a heartfelt prayer, you let my compassion flow through you. Understand that you do not have to be an expert theologian. Your testimony, how I have touched your life, has its own authentic power. Miracles often occur in the simplest conversations, in quiet prayers offered in faith, in small gestures of unconditional love. I want to address your dreams and desires once more. Some of your dreams you might have locked away, deeming them too big or too far-fetched. Yet, did you ever ask me if I put those desires in your heart for a purpose? Let me remind you, I create nothing without intention. If a particular vision has persisted in your spirit, if it resonates with my heart of love and truth, perhaps it is part of your calling. Surrender it to me. Ask for my guidance on how to move forward. You might be amazed at the roads I open when you step forward in obedience. Of course, not every idea in your mind is from me, which is why discernment matters. But I will confirm my plans through the peace in your spirit, through the counsel of wise believers, and through doors that open at the right time. You do not have to fear being misled when your heart truly seeks to honor me. Let me encourage you not to grow impatient if progress appears slow. In my economy, timing is crucial. Sometimes I delay certain outcomes because your character needs more shaping, your faith needs more refining, or the environment around you is not yet ripe to receive the gift I am preparing. Patience is not passive. It is an active demonstration of trust. It says, Lord, even if I do not see results yet, I believe you are working behind the scenes for my good. That kind of steadfast waiting blesses your soul, deepening your maturity. By the time the awaited blessing finally arrives, you are ready to steward it wisely and gratefully. I want you to develop not just a habit of daily prayer, but a deeper conversation with me throughout your day. Prayer should not be a quick ritual you perform out of obligation. Rather, it is an ongoing dialogue, a posture of your heart that stays open to my gentle whisper. I love to hear your spontaneous words of thanks as you notice beauty around you. I delight when you pause during a busy day to ask me for insight or perspective on a decision. I invite you to share your frustrations too, because raw honesty fosters intimacy. There is no need to wait for a perfectly quiet room or a specific hour. You can commune with me anytime and anywhere, for I am always with you. Let us talk about the battle in your mind. The mind is a battleground where countless thoughts wage war, some uplifting and others harmful. Negative voices might accuse you, reminding you of every flaw, every mistake, every reason why you should be ashamed. but I want you to armor your mind with truth. If a thought does not align with what I have said about you or about life, cast it aside. Let my promises shape your thought patterns. Think of thoughts like seeds. If you allow negative ones to remain, they grow into weeds that choke out faith and joy. But if you diligently plant positive seeds, my words of blessing and truth, they flourish into a garden that nourishes your soul. Whenever you catch yourself spiraling into gloom, speak my scriptures, proclaim my faithfulness, my power, my unwavering love. This discipline transforms your inner environment, chasing away the shadows of despair. I sense your yearning for a breakthrough in certain areas where you have long struggled. I want you to know, breakthroughs come in various forms. Sometimes I miraculously remove an obstacle overnight, shocking you with how suddenly a situation turns around. Other times, I guide you along a step-by-step process, teaching you perseverance and gratitude for each inch of progress. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Each of my children has a unique path, molded by their background, their purpose, and my masterful plan. My ways are beyond human comprehension. Rather than envying how I move in someone else's life, focus on the unique story I am writing with yours. Celebrate every small sign of progress, and soon you will realize how far you have traveled from where you once stood. If you stumble, if you fall back into old habits or react from anger, do not conclude that I have abandoned you. You are in the midst of a transformation process, and processes include growth pains. Come back to me swiftly, acknowledging your misstep. Once again, I will lift you up, brush off the spiritual dirt, and reorient you on the right path. The enemy wants you to believe that a single mistake disqualifies you from my blessing. That is a lie. Redemption is part of your inheritance in me. I have already seen every mistake you could possibly make, yet my plan to use you for my glory still stands. Let that truth give you the courage to keep trying, and I want to renew your hope. Hope can be a fragile thing, easily crushed by disappointments or prolonged suffering. But I am the God of unending hope. When you attach your hope to temporary solutions or shaky circumstances, it becomes unstable. Attach your hope to me, the one who never changes, and it becomes an unbreakable anchor. Even if circumstances do not look favorable, you can still hope in my goodness. Hope does not deny reality. It simply looks beyond reality to my ultimate sovereignty. And as you allow hope to fill your heart, your perspective brightens. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw closed doors. You begin to take small, brave steps toward better days, convinced that I am orchestrating a resolution beyond what you can see. I speak now of generosity. Generosity is not just about finances. It is a lifestyle that reflects my heart. When I bless you with resources, be they time, talents, or money, I long for you to share with others. A closed fist cannot receive additional blessing, but an open hand, willing to give, also remains open to receive. Look for ways to bless those around you, trusting that as you pour out, I will pour back in. This principle is not a formula to get rich. It is a principle of love, for you demonstrate my character when you give unselfishly. Whether you provide a meal, a listening ear, or a contribution to someone in need, you are acting as my vessel of kindness. In doing so, you break chains of selfishness and cultivate a beautiful sense of community. My child, I see how sometimes you wonder if your prayers matter, or if you are invisible in the vast world. I assure you, I know you by name and every detail of your life. Not one tear you shed escapes my notice. Not one prayer is lost in the void. I store your tears in a bottle, a poetic way of saying your sorrows are precious to me, and I redeem them all. Your cries do not bounce off the ceiling. They rise to my throne, and I move on your behalf in ways you cannot imagine. Trust that in the tapestry I am weaving, each thread of pain finds its place, contributing to a masterpiece that radiates my glory in the end. Sometimes, you hold on to memories of past hurts, replaying them as if to confirm your worst fears. I invite you to lay those burdens at my feet. Each time you relive the pain, you inflict new wounds upon your heart. Instead, let me apply the balm of my love to your memories so they no longer hold you captive. Healing does not always mean forgetting what happened, but it does mean reclaiming your power over it. You can learn from past mistakes, from traumas, from betrayals, without letting them steal your joy. I am able to bring beauty even out of your most broken experiences if you will place them in my hands. I want to encourage you to keep building healthy relationships with those who strengthen your faith. Fellowship with believers who challenge you to grow, who pray for you, and who share in both your tears and your laughter. Isolation can be tempting when you feel misunderstood, but it often leads to deeper loneliness. By connecting with others, you form a support system that reflects my family design. Communal love and prayer fortify you against the discouragement that sometimes creeps into solitary hearts. Yes, humans can be flawed, and conflicts can arise, but a healthy Christian community nurtures grace, accountability, and mutual edification. Seek out such companions. Be one of those companions. This is how love multiplies and my presence becomes more tangible in your midst. Let me address your concern about being worthy of my blessings. You see others who seem more spiritual, more disciplined in their devotional times, or more knowledgeable about Scripture. You fear maybe you do not measure up, but I do not operate by human standards of worthiness. My love is unconditional, and my ability to work through you depends on your willingness, not on your perfect performance. You are worthy because I have chosen you. You are acceptable because I have cleansed you by my grace. My kingdom is advanced by ordinary people who simply say yes to an extraordinary God. So set aside the comparisons. Instead, rejoice that my gifts are diverse and that we each play a part in the grand symphony of redemption I am orchestrating. I have more to say about your family, the ones you hold dear. Family relationships can be your greatest joy or your deepest pain. I see your longing for unity in your household, for healing in old wounds, for prodigal loved ones to return. Keep praying and do not lose hope. I am a God who delights in restoring broken ties. Sometimes restoration takes time, patience, and a willingness to walk through an uncomfortable reconciliation process. If you allow my wisdom to direct your words, you will be amazed at what humility and forgiveness can accomplish, even in relationships that have felt beyond repair. When you pray for your family, remember that I love them even more than you do. I hold their hearts in my hands. Trust me to work gently but powerfully, bringing them step by step toward peace. If you are a parent, know that your children are not burdens, but precious gifts entrusted to your care. The seeds you plant today, even in small acts of love, discipline, and faith, will produce fruit long after they have grown. Their faith journeys might be full of twists and turns, but your example of trust in me can leave an imprint they will never shake. If you feel you have failed them in some way, there is grace for that too. You can always begin anew by showing them the transforming power of my love in your life. Let me also remind you that you have a choice about what you feed your heart and soul. The world bombards you with images, headlines, and social media messages that often stir anxiety, anger, or discontent. If you immerse yourself in those voices without pause, they can overshadow my truth. Choose wisely what you allow into your mind. Spend time reflecting on my word, listening to wholesome encouragement, and meditating on my goodness. Then, even amid a chaotic culture, you remain steadfast. You will notice that negativity loses its hold when your spirit is daily recharged in my presence. When the world shouts doom, you will respond with quiet confidence that I reign over all. I want you to remember how my Son, when he walked the earth, offered compassion to the outcasts, mercy to the fallen, healing to the sick, and truth to all who would listen. In the same way, I want to shape your heart so that you love generously, forgive quickly, and stand firm for righteousness. You might feel that you could never reflect his character so purely. Yet, the same Spirit who empowered him lives in you. Each day is an invitation to grow more Christ-like, letting my Spirit refine your attitudes and priorities. Transformation is a lifelong journey, not a sudden leap to perfection. As you press forward, expect opposition. Darkness resists the light, and negativity thrives where hope is lacking. Sometimes, your choice to believe. My promises will draw criticism from those who think you are naive or unrealistic, but faith often appears foolish from a worldly standpoint. Remember that my thoughts and ways are higher than human logic. When I lead you into uncharted territory, it is not for you to shrink back in fear, but to walk boldly, trusting that I hold every detail in my hand. Embrace challenges as opportunities to prove my faithfulness once again. Now, let us talk about worship. Worship is not limited to singing songs at certain times. True worship is a lifestyle of honoring me in every thought, word, and deed. It is giving me your best, not your leftovers. When you fill your car with praises or hum a melody of gratitude while doing chores, or pause before making a decision to align it with my will, that is worship. If your heart overflows with reverence and adoration, you will find that worry diminishes. You cannot truly magnify my goodness and simultaneously magnify your fears. One always displaces the other. Let worship become the lens through which you see all of life, so that you automatically respond to trials with praise, to discouragement with surrender, and to success with humility. My child, your life is a tapestry of stories. Some chapters overflow with blessings, while others speak of heartbreak. I am Lord over every chapter. I weave them together into a narrative of redemption and grace. Even the chapters you wish you could erase become testimonies of my ability to transform mourning into dancing. Hold on to that. Let your scars become marks of triumph, reminding you of how far I have carried you. Your story has impact, not because you are without flaws, but because my power shines brightest when contrasted with human weakness. Every time you speak of my goodness, you cast a thread of hope into someone else's dark night. When you are tempted to give up, recall the men and women in Scripture who persevered against overwhelming odds. Their secret was never their personal strength, but their reliance on me. I parted seas for my people. I brought down walls with a shout. I closed the mouths of lions, and I raised the dead to life. Do you think your situation is too hard for my power? Absolutely not. I have limitless ways to bring resolution, comfort, or a new beginning. The question is whether you will keep believing when the solution seems distant. Stay faithful and watch how my timing breathes new life into impossibilities. I want to speak about joy. Joy is not a shallow emotion dependent on everything going smoothly. It is an abiding confidence that I am good and that my goodness will prevail. Joy grows in hearts that rest in my sovereignty, that trust my word more than the shifting circumstances. You might face tears, heartbreak, and disappointments, but none can permanently rob you of the joy found in my presence. Joy can emerge in the darkest nights, a tiny spark that keeps you hopeful. And as you nurture that spark through prayer, worship, fellowship, and reflecting on my promises, it becomes a flame that illuminates even the most desolate corridors of your soul. Occasionally, I urge you to slow down. The world celebrates busyness, equating constant activity with success. Yet, if you never pause, you miss the opportunity to hear my still, small voice guiding you. If you never rest, you risk burnout, which can sap your ability to serve effectively and maintain a healthy spirit. The Sabbath principle is a gift, a time to lay aside your to-do list, to breathe deeply in my presence, and to let your heart reset. Busyness might fill your schedule, but it is intimacy with me that satisfies your soul. I do not want you exhausted and anxious. I want you recharged, ready to pour into others from the overflow of my love in you. Let us also consider discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is training. Just as an athlete endures rigorous exercises to achieve peak performance, so I sometimes allow you to walk through challenging seasons to refine your character and strengthen your endurance. When you face trials, it can be tempting to assume I am displeased or punishing you. But often, the difficulties are simply part of living in a broken world, or they serve as spiritual workouts that hone your resilience. Even in these hardships, my grace is present to keep you from being overtaken. I provide the stamina, the lessons, and the eventual victory. Stand firm, trusting that no trial is wasted when placed in my hands. My dear child, your faith is precious. Guard it diligently. Beware of cynicism, which disguises itself as wisdom but is rooted in disappointment and unbelief. Cynicism sees every good thing with suspicion, anticipating letdown. I want you to remain open-hearted and hopeful, for my kingdom belongs to those who maintain a childlike wonder. Faith might not always be logical, but it aligns with the reality of a God who holds the universe together. Choose faith over cynicism, and you will see wonders. Yes, some prayers might receive a no or wait, but never assume that means I am ignoring you or ignoring the pain around you. My ways remain higher. What appears as a delay or denial often conceals a greater purpose you will recognize in hindsight. Think of how the disciples followed my Son. They witnessed miracles, yet they also faced misunderstandings, persecution, and personal failures. Even so, my Spirit empowered them to turn the world upside down with the gospel. Their weaknesses became channels for my strength. This same power is at work in you. I do not dwell in temples made by human hands, but within hearts surrendered to me. Each morning you can wake up and say, Holy Spirit, fill me for today's assignments, guide me, teach me. Watch how the simple act of daily surrender transforms your outlook, infusing ordinary moments with supernatural potential. A single conversation at your workplace can become a divine appointment. An errand could lead to an encounter that shifts someone's destiny. Life with me is never dull when you remain sensitive to my leading. Now let us revisit the importance of my word. Scripture is not a dusty relic, but a living, breathing revelation of my heart and will. When you dwell on it regularly, you align your thinking with my truth. You gain clarity on issues that cause confusion. You glean wisdom for decision-making. You fortify yourself against spiritual deception. Think of my word as a lamp lighting your path, preventing you from stumbling in darkness. If you are feeling distant from me or uncertain about your calling, return to my word. Allow it to wash over you, recalibrating your priorities. Let it become a mirror exposing areas where growth is needed, while simultaneously reminding you of your identity in me. I want to talk about success. Success in my kingdom differs from worldly success. Earthly standards focus on wealth, power, fame, or outward accomplishments. My standard focuses on faithfulness, love, humility, and obedience. You might achieve impressive accolades by human measure, but if your heart drifts from me, you gain nothing of eternal value. Conversely, you can labor in quiet obscurity, loving the neglected and praying for transformation, and in my eyes be a hero of faith. Always keep me at the center of your life. Let your pursuits, achievements, and relationships revolve around our bond. Then, whatever your earthly circumstances, you will be a success in my sight. I see some of your silent questions. Lord, are you really speaking to me this way? Could you love me that much? Yes, my child, I see your every doubt, your every question. Yet my love remains unwavering. I speak to you because I desire closeness, and I delight when your heart opens to my whisper. Even if you have struggled to believe in my affection, even if you have questioned whether I still move today, let these words reassure you. I am the same God who parted seas, who led exiles home, who brought my people through deserts and floods. I am the same God who walked among humanity, healing diseases, freeing minds, and breaking bread with sinners. My character does not change. My love does not grow cold. This is the reality into which I am calling you, a living relationship with the living God. You might be thinking about the negativity swirling in the world, wars, injustice, natural disasters. You wonder how to remain hopeful in such tumultuous times. Remember, I predicted tribulations in the world, but I also said, "Take heart, for I have overcome." You can be a beacon of light in dark places, a bearer of hope where despair abounds. Start with small acts. Feed the hungry near you, comfort those who mourn, advocate for fairness, pray for peace, and show compassion to strangers. Each act of kindness, rooted in my love, reverberates in the spiritual realm, weakening the hold of evil. Rest assured, my redemptive plan moves forward, even when headlines proclaim chaos. My kingdom is unshakable, and one day it will be fully established. Until then, you and all my children shine as ambassadors of that coming reality. Let me remind you that you do not have to carry burdens alone. If your shoulders are weighed down by pressing concerns, be they financial struggles, relational strife, or a crisis of direction, cast them upon me. I hold infinite resources to address every need. Sometimes I answer by providing immediately. Other times I guide you to wise counsel or a strategic plan. Either way, do not isolate yourself beneath the weight of stress. Involve me in your practical affairs. Pray over your budget, your job decisions, your interactions with neighbors. There is no aspect of life too mundane for my concern. I invite you to partner with me in everything, from your morning routine to your greatest life goals. Now, my child, I ask you to dwell on these truths. Let them anchor you. But do not merely absorb them for your own comfort. Share them, because there are souls languishing in silence who need this same reassurance. When a friend or family member expresses despair, pass on the encouragement you have received. When someone feels judged or condemned, remind them that my mercy is boundless. You never know whose life might be transformed by a few words spoken at just the right moment. This is how my love spreads, how my spirit moves across communities, families, and nations, through willing hearts that reflect my compassion in their actions and conversations. I have given you a spiritual inheritance, a storehouse of promises sealed by my faithfulness. No trial can rob you of that inheritance unless you willingly surrender it. Stand firm, treasure what I have given you. Speak my promises into the atmosphere of your home, your workplace, and every place your foot treads. You shift spiritual climates when you dare to proclaim that I am Lord, that my grace abounds, and that my word stands forever. Each time you declare my truth over your circumstances, you remind the enemy that he does not hold the final word. Let me share one more parable with you. Picture a traveler carrying a candle in the night. The flame is small, easily extinguished by a strong gust. Yet each time the wind blows, the traveler shields the flame with cupped hands, ensuring it is not snuffed out. Though the path ahead is long and dark, that small flame remains a steady guide. Over time, the traveler finds others wandering in darkness. He lights new candles from his flame, passing along hope. Now there are many flickers of light pushing back the darkness, though the night remains. In the same way, your faith might seem small, but if you protect it, let my spirit breathe upon it. It grows. And each time you share that faith with someone else, you multiply my light. The darkness cannot overcome it as long as you keep your flame alive and share its glow with others. This is the life I desire for you, a life of growth, of shining your light, of receiving and offering grace. No matter how many times you have stumbled, no matter how heavy life feels, my compassion stands ready to lift you up. You are not forsaken. You are my treasure, deeply loved, forever sought after. If you remember nothing else from all these words, remember this: you are mine, and I will stop at nothing to draw you close to my heart. I want to bless you abundantly, not as the world defines blessing, but with a deep, abiding sense of purpose and belonging. Material gifts may come, but they are merely a fraction of my provision. Far greater is the blessing of spiritual vitality, of knowing you are not alone in the storms. Far greater is the privilege of witnessing transformations and miracles, of seeing how I weave every thread of your story into a tapestry of redemption. Let me make a final invitation. Approach me now with an open heart. Surrender your fears, your regrets, and your confusion. Ask for my Holy Spirit to fill you afresh, to calm every anxious thought, and to guide your steps with clarity. Whisper your needs, your hopes, your doubts, and then listen, for I will speak. Sometimes my reply comes as a gentle stirring in your heart, other times through the wisdom of Scripture or through the counsel of a godly friend. However I choose to answer, trust that I am never ignoring you. I am the God who sees, who knows, who heals. Your every heartbeat is precious to me. When you wake tomorrow, let your first thoughts be shaped by gratitude, your first words shaped by faith. Declare that I am your refuge, your fortress, the light in every dark corner. Let your day be filled with anticipation of how I might show up. Through a moment of peace in nature, a surprising act of kindness from a stranger, or a breakthrough in a long-standing problem. In all these ways, I reveal glimpses of my glory. You are part of my grand story. You belong to me. Let that truth be the bedrock of your life. Carry these words deep in your spirit. Share them with those who need a reminder of my constant love. And never doubt that I hold you in my everlasting arms. My child, you have received the fullness of my devotion. Stay with me, walk with me, and together we will see wonders unfold. Let these truths stir you to push aside every fear. Because if I am for you, who can truly stand against you? I bless you now, flooding your heart with calm assurance, releasing every grip of worry from your soul. I set you on a path of holy purpose, guiding your steps so that each day draws you closer to the destiny I have prepared. Let your faith soar, for even the smallest acts of belief can spark a wildfire of transformation in your life and in the lives you touch. Remember, you are never alone. I, your God, am with you always. If these words have spoken to your heart, if you feel my presence in the midst of them, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and keep drawing near, because my desire is to nourish your faith day by day. You are loved, you are chosen, and I am closer than you can ever imagine. Now step forward in courage, for your journey is just beginning. Amen.